Hey family, this is Melissa and welcome to my channel, Pressing Forward. It has been a number of years since I posted a video and it's because I've had a lot going on in my life. For those who are new, my name is Melissa Shantelisa. The reason why I introduced that name now is because I finally had to come to a place of knowing my identity. And my name in itself, every time I invoke it, every time I speak it, it brings about things in other people's lives, things that I had to discover in my own life. And I didn't discover it until I shut down in 2024. After finding some things that was clarity for me when I went to Cancun, Mexico for a retreat. It was actually called a clarity retreat. And I discovered some things about me that I did not know was totally true. In fact, I denied it for a long time. And the biggest thing that I discovered was I didn't trust me to make a good decision. I didn't trust me to do anything. And I surely didn't trust God, even though I kept telling him I did. And in the midst of that discovery, I had to find myself. I had to ask God to help me. What do I do? So when I took a flight back from this beautiful place, and I stayed in the most beautiful resort hotel room for the number of days we were there, met the most amazing people. But even before I entered there, I asked God, make this trip be 99% about me, 1% about anybody else. And it was because I needed to see God in a place, in a time that I needed him most. My aunt had just passed away a few weeks before, and it rocked my world. And so I was given the blessing of this trip through means that I don't even understand to this day. But I have come to a great and amazing place in my life where I understood that God was trying to do something for me. So he took me from Las Vegas, Nevada, all the way to Cancun, Mexico. And when I discovered what was really going on in my life, I withdrew. Was it wise? No. I should have asked for help, but I was too afraid to. And a lot of it stemmed from the fact that I was really seeking God about marriage. I had been praying for other people's marriages for years. I had been praying for God for a friend of mine who is about to get married, that he would be the husband his wife needed and all the things. But I was not praying for my husband. I had prayers written for my husband, had been praying, and then I stopped. I stopped believing that was possible because, well, at that point I had ballooned up in weight, and I still have weight on me. As you just saw, my arm is real. I still have more weight on me than what I want to. In 2019, if you dare to go on my Facebook page or on my Instagram page, there are pictures of me where I don't even look the same at all. And it was the most significant time of my life when that happened, because I had lost weight even before then. But the woman who I was then, I missed. But it wasn't that I missed who she was internally. I missed who she was on the outside. I missed the compliments. I missed the, oh, you're so beautiful. Because I really didn't, my self-esteem was low. But I missed that. But the thing is, to be beautiful and broken, whew, it was a lot. And to believe that God could give me somebody who would love me after all that I had been through, that was a lot. So at this point in my life, and what I've been doing is that I've been surrendering my life to God and allowing him to do a great work in me. So yes, I'm out here, I'm sweating. Yes, and I will not apologize for it because it is hot. I am in Texas and it is hot. And normally right now I'll be on a walk. So behind me is a walking path. And then on the side of me, if you can hear the bubbling, there is a fountain. And it is by this water that sometimes I sit and I just have my thoughts and I have my conversations. But today is going to mark the beginning of the messy middle moments with Melissa. And the reason why I call them the messy middle moments is because it's time for me to be transparent and vulnerable in the part of the story that's not all the way written. And the part where the beginnings really are beginning in and the endings are coming to an end. So, and it's also a way for me to remind myself and my children, my loved ones, that it isn't always perfect. What you will end up seeing soon is the part where God fulfilled his promise in my life. That's what you will see. And what I have discovered is no matter what it is that I have to do, no matter what it is that I'm going to be doing in my life, it is going to be strategic and it's going to be purposeful. And I may not have time to record it. I'm not a recording type of girl. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to. It's just, well, I don't really love the camera. But one thing I want to do is to give you this messy middle moment. So what is the messy middle moment for today? My messy middle moment is that I have been full of pride. I know it's no shock to some. For many, it might be a lot of it. But for me, man, I had to come to the realization that I didn't even know I needed. And it came after I prayed this one prayer in scripture. And it was Psalm 139 verses 23 through 24, the Amplified version. And it says, "Search me thoroughly, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts, and see if there is any wicked or hurtful way in me, and lead me in the way of righteousness," or everlasting way. Might have said that wrong, please forgive me, but go look up the verse. But lead me in the everlasting way is what it says. So what did that mean? I asked God to flip the tables. I asked him to turn the tables over in my life and show me myself. And in the midst of it, it seemed like things were delayed, but it's not a delay in God. It was just that he needed to show me who I really was so that I may become the wife my husband would need. I will become the mother my children need in this part of their lives. I will become the daughter my parents needed me to be, the grandmother my grandson needed me to be, and the friends that my friends needed me to be. But I also needed to become the daughter God needed me to see that I really am. And that's where you come in. God called me to this channel years ago, and I have been fretting, and I have been so afraid, and this and that. I almost didn't post this video because I'm like, I don't have on any makeup. Well, your girl don't even wear that much makeup. I put on like literally mascara and eyeliner and lip liner and lip gloss. So that, let me just not even lie. I do not wear a whole lot of makeup because I don't know how to. But that has actually been a good thing because I can be completely myself. I'm totally transparent in that area. And I live a life of transparency and vulnerability. I embrace it. And I embrace people who do it too. So for me right now in this season, God had to literally not only search me, but thoroughly search me. Unveil to me what was wrong. Unveil to me what I failed in. Unveil to me the things that I struggle with the most. And it was pride. It was pride because I didn't know how to ask for help. And when I did ask for help, it would be too late. Or it would be too much. Or it would be overwhelming for somebody else. Or it would be simply that maybe I didn't ask for help, but it would just be, I was trying to protect my heart. I have had many men come in and out of my life, be it they were friends or potential mates or whatever. And I had a bad picker. That's what a pastor told me years ago, and I believed him. And so I would always believe that I would pick wrong when that wasn't true. It was literally that there were things that I should have just taken to God about that when he revealed that to me, that no, I'm not a bad picker. It's just that my discernment was off. And I didn't know anything about discernment then, but I know about it now. And so When certain people came into my life, I didn't see them for who they were. I was so busy trying to make them perfect, but I wasn't perfect. And that's the thing I need you to understand too. For those who are waiting for marriage, you are not perfect. And that perfect person's not going to be perfect. For those who are married, you didn't marry a perfect spouse. And God dog it, believe me, you're not perfect either. And that's what God wants. He brings imperfect people into an imperfect situation because he is a perfect God and he can make it better. So what he had to do was he had to show me my heart. And when I was a little girl, I experienced molestation. It is the hardest thing to talk about. But I thank a dear friend of mine who forced me to talk about that in his course back in 2022. And it was a catalyst out of this world. It flipped my entire world upside down. But I'm so thankful for it. Because when he did, and how he became my friend was, he has a podcast, and there was an episode that God used to get me on this road of healing, this journey that I needed. And it has been 5 years since that started. And I can honestly say today, I'm still healing. But there's been some major breakthroughs for that healing. Major. One day I'll sit down and tell you about it. Matter of fact, it's coming soon because I'm actually going to turn that greatest pain into my greatest purpose. So somebody needs to hear my voice. And that's the place where I had to come to, was that level of pride. I was protecting me more than I was trusting God to protect me. And sometimes that's where we end up getting stuck. That's why we can't move forward. That's why our relationships fail. That's why things that we are purposed to do doesn't work out, because we have a lot of pride. So in my messy middle, I confess pride. And I hope and pray that you will gain so much more from all that God has for you as you embrace and address that issue. My prayers are with you and for you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.